Like everyone else, I was a little bit stressed when I saw that the stock market was beginning to crash again, and it actually was giving me a little bit of PTSD when I remembered how the stock market was like during the pandemic. So in today's video, I'm literally going to delve into the things that I'm going to be doing whilst the stock market is crashing to kind of take advantage of this newly found opportunity. So if you're interested, you know the drill around here. I want you to grab your pen, I want you to grab your paper, I want you to get comfortable, because we're going to be talking all things what to do when the stock market is crashing. And in case you haven't met me before, my name's Uyiosa and I'm a doctor, investor, personal finance geek, and a girlie who had 100k invested at the age of 25. So the first thing I'm going to be doing, guys, is dollar cost averaging. And if you haven't heard that term before, it's basically when you invest the same amount of money every single time, regardless of what the stock market is doing. So when it's at all-time high, you invest the same amount on a regular basis. And when it's at all-time low, again, you invest the same amount on a regular basis. As you can imagine, when the stock market is doing well, let's say you wanted to invest £300 a month, you're probably going to get fewer shares for that amount of money. But when the stock market dips and you still choose to invest £300 a month, then you're going to get a lot more shares for that same amount. And the reason why dollar cost averaging is amazing is because over a long period of time, it helps to smooth out times like this when the market isn't acting as you would expect, and therefore it helps to reduce your risk in the long term of buying shares at the wrong time. The second thing is not panicking, and guys, I'll be so real with you, this is easier said than done. Seeing your returns literally disappear overnight without any warning is crazy. However, in times like this, doing nothing when a situation has changed seems like an irrational thing to do. But if you decide to sell during this time, you're actually actualizing the losses. Right now, the losses that you've seen are hypothetical. The reason why I say they're hypothetical is you're still in the market and the market can recover. And if we think back to the pandemic, we saw the stock market drop to lows that we hadn't seen in a while. And then when life kind of went back to normal again, we saw new highs that we hadn't seen in a while. If you had sold during the pandemic, then the losses would have been permanent. But actually, if you held on, you would have benefited from the gains when the world opened up again. A similar thing happened in the 2008 financial crisis. So I said all of that to say that I'm going to try my very best not to panic and actually use this as an opportunity to buy more index funds and more stocks that I've been eyeing, because in my head, they're basically at a discount. The companies haven't necessarily changed. And Warren Buffett always says this: be fearful when others are greedy and be greedy when others are fearful. The third thing I'll be doing is diversifying. And diversification, simply put, is not putting all your eggs in one basket. So it's not overly investing in the US or overly investing in tech or overly investing in property. It's actually investing in loads of different sectors, because you never know how a sector is going to respond in times of crisis. If you overly invest in one sector and that sector is taking a hit, then that could have a significant impact on your portfolio, and you don't want that. You want to be able to sleep at night and not have high blood pressure. And the reason why this is important is because during times of chaos, different markets respond differently. If we go back to the pandemic, the travel industry was not doing very well, whereas the pharmaceutical and healthcare industry did well, which of course is understandable. So that highlights to us that different sectors respond differently in chaos. And then the advanced level on top of this is global diversification. So remember that not all countries follow the path of the US. There will be some countries which will be thriving based on the changes, and other countries that may not be thriving. So by exposing your money to different countries, you're spreading your risk. Number 4, having an emergency fund. An emergency fund, simply put, is when you have 3 to 6 months worth of expenses in liquid form, so in other words, in cash. And the reason why this is important is because in times like this, life happens and things may happen that you wouldn't have anticipated. And so by having 3 to 6 months of living expenses locked away, it gives you a buffer. And having cash also gives you options. It means that you don't have to sell your stocks and shares in a time where the market is at an all-time low in order to cover an expense. Again, if you've been on this channel long enough, you will know that having cash is not good because of something called inflation, which is the increasing cost of how much things are over time. So if you leave your cash in the bank, your buying power becomes less just because things become more and more expensive. And we would have seen this. Back in the day, you could buy drumstick sweets for £1 and now they're £1.50. So to mitigate that, you have a couple of options. The first is looking at high interest savings account, and that's basically when you put your money with a bank, and in exchange of having your money kept with them, they will give you 3% or 4% or however much it is. Number 5, remembering the goal. I will be constantly reminding myself that I am investing for the long term and not the short term. So when you are long term investing, you are looking at the next 5, 10, 15 years, and it's only natural for life to happen in that time. It's natural for the market to swing up and to swing down. And if we look at the historical data of the S&P 500 that dates back to 1920s, despite recession, crashes, and global events that have happened, the market has shown steady growth over the period of time. And so it's reassuring that in due course, the market will recover if we are patient enough. And Warren Buffett always says that the market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. So the key takeaway for me and for you guys watching this is to not panic and to not allow the short-term emotions associated with the volatility of the market at the moment to deter us or to distract us from the ultimate goal, which is long-term investing. And the last one isn't necessarily something that I will be doing, but it's a tip for people who have been going through a lot emotionally as a result of the changes to the stock market recently. So if you have found that actually the change in the stock market has been causing you a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety, it could be a sign that it might be time for you to reassess your risk tolerance. And every person has a different risk tolerance, and that can also be as a result of our individual circumstances. And it could be that you're over invested in equities, and so you might be better off investing more in bonds, which tend to have lower returns but are a lot more stable. It could be that you actually need to expand into dividend paying stocks, which are stocks that pay you dividends or stocks that pay you money, even in the down markets. But I will caveat this. Depending on how the companies are, some companies can actually stop paying dividends for a period of time to their investors. So it's something to bear in mind. Or you could use this as the opportunity to readjust your strategy entirely. And that brings me to the end of this video. I hope you found this information useful. Let me know what other things that you guys will be doing whilst the stock market is on the downturn. And if you want any other stock market related content, then definitely let me know in the comment section. Otherwise, I'll see you in my next video. Bye!